Welcome, everybody, back to another episode of Pineapples and Palm Trees podcast. I am your host, Corey Marcus, and I'm here with my wonderful co-host and beautiful wife, Felicia Marcus.
Hey, everybody.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I just asked you right before we hopped on here, are you tired?
I mean, obviously, we've had a long day with the kids, and we were in the sun most of the day, which is refreshing, but definitely tiring. And yeah, it's also late.
Hey, well, you got to get in where you fit in.
Exactly. The grind never stops.
That's real. That's real. I'm exhausted too. I'm glad we got out in the sun.
For sure.
For you all who don't know and are just joining us, we are a wife and husband and wife duo. And we're here to bring you all the good information about being married, what comes with being married, leading up to being married, for those of you who are interested in being married, and those of you who, go through the everyday struggles of being married, or you didn't have anyone with a good marriage to role model after.
Or the people that are in like committed relationships but don't necessarily like want to be married, but like are basically, if that makes sense. You know, the common law marriages that just are afraid of the piece of paper that gets filed at the courthouse. Because I mean, at that point, come on now.
And I don't understand it.
There's a YouTube couple that I follow that like refuse to get married, but like they have bank accounts together, they have businesses together. Like,
yeah,
you might as well be married. The only thing different is the freaking piece of paper at the courthouse.
But I think that scares people.
The piece of paper?
Yeah, because like
you can literally get like revoked just as fast as you turned it in.
True.
It's not like
but
it's that hard.
I think that scares people and puts them like they can actually see that they're together.
I mean, I guess, but don't you see that whenever you go home every day?
Well, yeah, but you're not thinking of like I'm legally bound to you. You're just thinking like
I mean, when you start owning things together, you're definitely legally bound.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of people won't get the piece of paper just because like they can see that they're legally bound, and then they think everything has to go through the court if they break up. But then like, if that's on your mind.
My real father's still technically married to his third wife.
Yeah.
I don't even know. He's still technically married to this one lady, and so like.
And if you're common law married, then like, what does that really mean?
I mean, it depends what state you live in, but some states it's very strict, and like you basically like are married, and like you have to literally file for like an eviction notice for like the spouse, and like you have to literally like what's his is what's mine is yours, what's yours is his, and so like it's basically whoever makes it to the house first and calls the cops, and it's like, hey, I'm taking my stuff, and like you have every right to everything in there.
That's out of control. At that point, like.
You might as well be married.
Yeah, I was like, and you might want that piece of paper so you can get half the shit back.
Exactly. Because at that point, you'd really, it's he say, she say, like.
Cucumber.
At least when that piece of paper came in, there was some, he say. There's some proof.
Yeah. Hey, we're married. So, there's no paper saying that. There's no paper saying that. It just says that we're common law. We've been living together for a while.
Exactly. So I acquired everything that's yours.
Oh, man. I remember when I was younger and marriage. I never wanted to get married. I never wanted to get married. I had no intentions on it. I played it safe just for the fact. And now here we are, going on 4 years of marriage.
That's crazy. From two people that said they never would.
Yeah, it took a lot though. It took a lot. Did. Yeah. So if you're listening and you're thinking about getting married, it's not just dating. it's not boyfriend and girlfriend. There's stages. There's
I remember, I'll never forget asking, I'll never forget, like, because I knew, like, you were obviously interested in proposing and things of that nature. But I'll never forget one day we had argued about something, and I said, does every time we argue, does it push back the day you want to propose? And you said, yeah, why? And then I'll never forget that because it's always like when people say like, oh, I'm going to wait to have kids until I have money. Like, you'll never actually feel like you have enough money to have a kid. Like,
that's true.
and so it's like,
that's why I had a date further out. I set the date further out just in case I kept getting questioned that I could use that excuse.
That's really funny because it's like, if you put it off for every fight, it's like you're never going to do it because you're never going to not argue. Like, I've met maybe like 5 couples in my life.
Never not going to argue.
Never have argued. It's like, come on now.
And if you're not arguing, man.
I have a lot of questions.
I don't know what kind of fun you're having. Yeah. I don't know what kind of fun you're having. But there's so many stages to, like, even getting married. Like, people just think, I've been dating you for a while, marry me.
Some people do it really fast, too.
Yeah. And they just think being a married husband or a married wife is like, I'm married now. That's it.
Yeah.
Or I'm married and take me on like a few dates here and there. And a lot of people just grow away from each other because they don't grow together.
Yeah, and I think that's why a lot of divorces happen more so is because like everybody grows apart.
And it's so crazy because like it's just it's talking to each other, and we're so afraid to talk to each other as like people, even friends. Like, we're so afraid to hurt each other's feelings, or you feel I would enjoy this in my life, but this other person doesn't enjoy it in their life, so I can't enjoy it. Yeah. So you never like bring it up.
That makes sense.
But you could have a conversation, and who knows where that conversation may lead to 15, 20 years. Yeah. Because, geez Louise, what was 20 years ago? I wasn't even a teenager, barely a teenager.
Barely.
Fuck, I sure hope I don't like now what I like then. What I like
I
then.
mean, no, it's funny that I can literally think back and like say like, I knew you then, and you're still. I wouldn't say you're actually. It's weird to think about how many like I always say people you've been, and it's not like your body has like recreated itself, but like the number of personalities. No, I don't know how you describe it, but like
you can just try to be. You can be whatever you want to be in life.
No, but like since I've known you, you've changed. Like I don't want to call them like different people.
Like phases or like
not phases.
Stages,
just
like stages.
Stages. You definitely like stages in life.
Kind of like the date. It's stages of getting married. Like you date and then you get
stages of growing
fiancés and then
Yeah, like you're definitely very similar in some aspects, but like for the most part, I will say that you were a lot nicer when you were younger, but I feel like that was more so because like everybody liked you and everybody wanted to be around you, and that was the cool thing back then. Where now I think you hate that.
Oh, jeez, I like being around people. I just don't like being around people that just are just talking about dumb shit.
Yeah, but you would have done it when you were younger.
Yeah, of course. Of course, when you're young, you just want to talk about everything. Everything's fucking cool. Everything. I mean, when you're young and you're fucking...
It's weird because it's like, when I was young, I definitely didn't... I don't think I cared to be around that many people. I had my select few, but like... No, I definitely wasn't like that.
I care. I like being around people because I'm hilarious. And watching people, you see what I'm saying? And watching people laugh and making people laugh. That's an enjoyment. Or
so
seeing like...
comedian.
No.
Why not?
That was funny.
That was funny.
Seeing what kind of humor people have, because some people have like super dry humor. Some people have like
Yeah, but the things you joke about now are not necessarily funny.
super everything's sexual to them. Some people, you know, see what makes people laugh. Because some people might laugh at the joke, and the other people might look at you like, "Oh, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's an idiot." And then the other people laughing are like, "That was funny."
Yeah. There's definitely two crowds in every room.
Yeah, and that's kind of like in a relationship. Like, you definitely laugh at a lot of things I say, but then some things I say, like, you definitely look at me and I think they're supposed to be fucking hilarious, and you're like, you gotta stop. You gotta stop.
Yeah, I definitely think it takes, I wouldn't say it takes a lot to make me laugh, but yeah, it definitely takes, I'm too serious all the time to laugh. So it's like,
Yeah.
so when I do, it's got to be pretty funny.
So as you can tell, who's the fun one in this relationship?
I'm all business.
That's all right though. Like I said, so when we first started dating, we were like 14. We were like 14. Maybe 15, maybe 15.
Maybe 15, because you were driving.
And it was like 2 weeks tops.
Something
Maybe
like
it made
that.
it. Maybe it made it 2 weeks.
Maybe.
Whew.
I remember like kissing you out in front of your house in the car, in my car. So I was driving, so I was 16.
You're not older than me, so
Yeah, so you're definitely
don't let the people get that confused, thinking that she's older than me now.
He's only older by 3 months.
That's
Chill.
a thing. That's the thing.
And then I
Keep
remember
going.
like, I think it was that next day we like were like, why don't we just be friends? Because like seemed like it was
Yeah, it
is
seemed
better for us.
I don't know, 15 and 16. Sorry,
Yeah.
felt forced. Felt like
Yeah, I felt like we were trying to force a relationship because of what we were doing.
yeah, for sure.
That's the best way to put it. Like,
And isn't that what we do? Isn't that what people do when they're like teenagers though? Like,
yeah, I mean, you
hook
kind of
up and
have
you're
to, I
like,
guess.
you're my significant other
Exactly.
now. You're like, dude, fucking 16.
Exactly.
Leave me alone. Looking back on it though, but when you're in that age and that era, like that person's your everything.
It was weird because, like, I don't know, looking back on it now, we were oddly mature in that situation, but like still immature, if that makes sense. Because
I
obviously
think
what we
with
were
each other,
doing was like
though.
morally, obviously not okay, but we were so mature in the situation of like we respected each other's boundaries and like
Using the boo thing.
that's what I'm saying. Like we respected each other's boundaries though, but
Yeah.
we knew what it was.
Yeah, like I said, I think that was just with each other.
I mean,
think,
obviously, it's not like there could be multiple people. When I was a child,
Yes,
still
we were-
too, like
we were very best friends. So, which is a good question to ask. Now that we've been together for so long, because my answer still is no. Do you think men and women can genuinely be cordial friends?
yes.
Mm.
And I know you'll disagree because you always see it as like from a man's point of view, which I get
Because
because
we're dogs.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking
Like, and I
dogs.
get that because like you're a guy, but at the same time, like there are men out there who genuinely respect other people's boundaries.
Yeah, but finding those guys are fucking very hard, and
I mean, yeah.
few in between, and like,
But it's also you have to trust that the girl is
Mm.
going to like enforce those, if that makes sense.
that's true.
And
You
like,
can't
when you come from like
control
somebody
people.
who's like as outspoken and very like abrasive is what I've been told I am.
Yeah.
It's almost like people have told me like I intimidate them. Like men
So,
have told me I intimidate
it-
them.
So with the friend of opposite sex, are there conversational boundaries?
I mean, yeah. I
Like
wouldn't say like
things like you don't discuss with this guy or this girl because
I mean, you shouldn't be pillow talking with them.
that's yeah.
That's a little much.
He's like, oh, my man pissed me off, and I guess from my point of view or the husband's point of view, my wife pissed me off. I guess that opens the door, cracks the door for somebody who may have the
I
intentions
mean,
of
yeah.
trying to kick that bitch down.
I could see where like it could easily happen, and then then be like, oh shit, well this wasn't my intention behind. I was just
Yeah.
simply venting, and they were the closest person. The only reason I say that is obviously because I come from like a male-dominated industry, so I genuinely work with more males than I do females.
Well, yeah,
So it's like I have to talk to people every day, and I have to have like make friendship, if that makes sense.
yeah.
And so like there's obviously boundaries set from the very first time
Oh, jeez. Sorry, sorry about
Do we have a
that.
speed racing track
Golly,
outside?
but gee,
I thought we had a noise complaint or
Right.
a noise ordinance.
that's out of control.
That's outrageous. But like, so like I obviously have had to like learn to set those boundaries without like making like I'm setting boundaries.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how to describe it. Like
Yeah.
it just comes with the conversation.
Mm.
I think when you are a professional.
Yeah. I'd say no just because like people like to ask questions and people like
Yeah.
to talk, and like get to know you. And from my point of view, or even from like a general male point of view, like sometimes we might not feel or get complimented or uplifted, excuse me, or like feel wanted. So like a general compliment may seem different to us, or
That makes sense.
we say something and it come off different, and then they like, oh, your husband said this to me. You're like, I didn't mean it that way, but and now we're hesitant to talk to anybody or make friends of any of opposite sex, which
That's because like I've met people like obviously that use the word like babe or all that to like
stuff is
everybody, and it's very weird to me because I'm like that's not something I would obviously. I
yeah.
don't go around like,
I know I wouldn't go around and be like, hey,
hey babe, can you hand me that or like.
good luck, hon. That's weird.
Yeah, to me that's like an HR case waiting to happen. But I've also seen a lot of HR cases.
That's another
so
thing.
it's
Is like how do you can't compliment anybody because you never know whenever.
And I definitely don't compliment people at work.
Yeah, no, that's
carry
that's
that
a weird.
box, yo.
You have to see the.
Like,
Oh,
I don't even know
geez.
how I would
That's like
compliment them.
you see him every day. You wouldn't want to be like, oh well, you said I look good in that dress. I can't fucking wear dresses to work now. Or
Exactly.
she said I'm strong man, so now I got to go out and get tight fitting shirts. So she's checking me out. And
that would be weird.
yeah,
I always use the phrase "don't shit where you eat."
some people like to shit everywhere. Some
I mean,
people
you're
like to
not
shit
wrong.
everywhere.
But like, yeah, I've seen. Yeah, it's a disaster.
So we've known each other for a long time. So
A
we'll
long time.
give y'all kind of the where we are and where we're going, and then
Where we came from.
yeah, don't want to give them too much too fast because that would.
We probably should have done like a
What?
introductory episode.
Oh,
Is that
That sounds good.
introductory?
we've been married for 4 years. We've been dating for what? 7 years.
We've known each other for
20
years.
And
Just throw this one out there. We were more than friends in high school for multiple years of our life.
Over what, 16 now?
Like
16?
well, yeah, but like
yeah, 16 years.
like
15, 16 years.
But actually like making effort and to
like be together and stuff.
Yeah. That was at least what? Oh man. 16 to like 20-ish.
I think that's what I just said.
Yeah. But that's like 4 years. Not 16. Yeah, you were saying 16. Like, I know that's when it started. I was saying how many years we were like involved but not involved. That makes sense.
Out of those years.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. That was probably maybe 3.5.
Yeah. So like, but that was like often.
Yeah.
Seeing each other and like spending time together. And, like,
Yeah, but I had just moved out of state at that time.
Yeah.
Whoa, y'all are getting too much too fast. Chill out. We're gonna bring you back to where we are now. We are currently.
It sounds like we're on the drag strip because apparently.
Yeah, people are racing outside. We didn't mean for y'all to hear it, but if you're racing fans, skirt.
Skirt.
Yeah, we are planning our honeymoon actually.
4 years late. It'll be 5 years. It'll be 5
this
years.
This year for next year.
Trying to go to Fiji or Turks and
Caicos. Trying to go somewhere nice. And where we're at is very nice. However, I know there's places out there that are absolutely breathtaking. Yeah. So I'm trying to see those.
We can obviously, where we live is a vacation area. So it's like, we literally go outside our front door.
And our back house.
We go outside our front door and it looks like a vacation home. So it's like,
ay, cucumber lumber.
Don't get me wrong, it's nice.
It's nice.
It's definitely a change of pace considering the house we literally just moved from a month ago is covered in snow.
So some stages, man. Whenever we first got together, we lived with one of my friends in a completely different state. And then we did that for like 3 months, 4 months.
No, we actually, I figured that out the other day. We moved out. We were only there for a month and a half. Like
what? Oh, yeah, I was there months. For a month before you were.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you did.
Yeah.
You did come down way earlier than I did. No, you only came down 2 weeks before me. Not even 2 weeks. It was like a week. Because you kept putting it off and kept putting it off and kept putting it off. And then you ended up leaving like a week before me.
And then when we first got our first place, we slept on an air mattress together, and our son slept on a cot, and we slept in the living room, and we had a TV.
And it was like a 2-bedroom apartment.
We had a big old apartment.
It was a big old apartment. We slept in the living room.
Yeah, but we had nothing. We had absolutely.
We moved with what we could fit in our cars.
Yeah, and they were little
small
cars. 4-door cars.
Yes, they weren't SUVs. It wasn't a truck. So basically, we went with our clothes.
Yeah. Oh, well, so I guess we'll bring you up from the back. I lied to y'all. Look at me already starting this relationship out bad with y'all. My apologies. I guess we'll start fucking from like the beginning of our relationship until hell y'all can't take it, and
the relationship began during that time.
Y'all are gonna get it in episodes. You're not gonna get it all at once. You gotta follow along because you don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss it. Yeah, we had absolutely nothing, and we slowly acquired things. We got jobs off Craigslist.
Yep,
that was crazy.
Shout out Craigslist.
Hey.
Had a job with it. And don't ever tell somebody that you can't find a job because literally we moved across this country.
Listen.
and neither one of us had nothing besides basically what we could fit in our cars, and we both had jobs within 2 weeks of being there. If
You
that.
gotta go where you grow. You gotta go where
Like,
you grow.
and it wasn't like we were just knocking down. I mean, we kind of were knocking down people's doors, but like, if you put in the
Yeah.
work, something's gonna come of it. Like,
Applied for every job on Craigslist that I
every
could
job, we spent hours.
think of, and
And we ended up getting jobs down the street from each other.
well, my first job was 2 hours away.
Oh yeah, which
My
that
first
was
job
stupid.
was 2 hours away from home, and
He
I'll
thought
tell
he
you,
was gonna commute every
yo,
day, 4
it was
hours.
$10 an hour. I had it was fresh. You know what I'm saying? It was $10 an
I
hour.
can't believe that you even
I was
considered
fresh
it.
out of school. I was having associates. Yeah, it was ridiculous. I said, "Oh, got a job doing what I was went to school for," and $10 an hour. I was like, "Hell yeah, more than I was making because it was minimum wage and everything like that." And
$10, man.
went that first day. It was cool, and then halfway through my drive, I got a call that evening. Blah 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 blah. We wanted to. I was like, "Oh no, I got a job." Halfway through the drive that next morning, when I was up, 2.5, 3 hours before I had to be there because of the 2 hour commute, I drove an hour and I pulled over to the road and I thought to myself, "What am I doing? What am I doing?" So I called the people and I was like, and they, thank God they answered. "Hey, sorry, I don't know what I told you yesterday or the day before, whenever I told you." I was like, "But would you have to still have an opening?" And they're like, "The manager's not in, but come at this time." I said, "Cool." I turned right around and went back to the house. This is before we got our apartment, so we're still living with a friend.
I will never forget when you walked back through the door and I said, "Oh, what happened?"
Yo, I said, that drive, listen, I was not about to drive 2 hours. I thought I was going to drive 2 hours for $10 an hour. Then I realized by the time I get done driving, that's $40. And that's already damn near, that's a tank of gas and some food. And that's out of control.
Oh, it's gotta be one of my
Yeah.
my
So I
favorite
went back
stories.
and got paid significantly more. Crappy hours. It was great commute, great pay.
It took like 10 minutes to get there.
The hours were terrible. I was working 8 days, overnights, 12s, 7P to 7A. Oh, horrible. I gained 40 pounds straight off rip. You know what I'm saying?
No exaggeration.
Oh, listen, I was eating dinner for breakfast. I was eating dinner for dinner.
So,
I was eating ice cream and dinner for lunch. It was out of control. And I'm coming fresh off of being like single, and like my eating habits were almost none. So then, but I cooked for myself, and then when we started cohabitating and everything, I cooked. And then the schedule got crazy and I was like, fuck it. Just eat out. That was the worst.
yeah. 5 Guys and tubs of ice cream.
Listen, at that point in my life, like Five Guys could have gave me an endorsement. If you're listening,
As much as you ate there, you were
y'all could have
not
gave me an
lying.
endorsement.
Every night, what do you want for food? Just give me 5 Guys.
And mind you, every night was my morning. So, and I had already ate before I left the house.
Because I had always cooked dinner because, like, it was obviously dinner time.
Listen, because I'm waking up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, eating
So
dinner.
he would
And then
literally-
like, Jesus, Jesus.
Sometimes we would have breakfast just because, like, that's what he would want. And it's just like my schedule is trying to get screwed up, too.
Yeah,
But I
she
worked
worked
a
a great,
normal
you worked a
job.
great schedule. Yeah,
7 to 3.
you had it caked up, baked up, and easy bake oven. And oh man, we would try to like go places. I would fall asleep.
Oh, my God. Or he would look like no offense and trigger warning, but
No,
like
like that.
he looked like a heroin addict. Like
I love
he
it.
would
I
literally doze out And I'd be like, "This is embarrassing. Like nobody wants,
Oh yeah,
nobody wants to
you would
go
get
anywhere
so
with
mad.
you." Oh, I would.
She'd get so mad. Sit up, sit up. Look like you're falling out. like yo,
But like,
I'm
not
exhausted.
gonna lie, like, hello trauma. Like,
Yeah,
that
for
definitely
sure.
came from like past
And
trauma
we
with
were
not with me,
fresh.
but like,
We so before we moved states together, we didn't date. Like we just I'll give you that story next episode or something.
can you do that to him?
Gots to, but we moved states with like 2 days of talking about it, and when we got down here, you know, that's just what it was. Like we were like 3
So
months
he actually
in.
never asked me to be his girlfriend.
Fresh.
He sent me a Facebook.
Oh yeah.
I'll never forget this.
What?
Yeah, so like we had talked about it, I guess, like just trying to like set boundaries with, because obviously we were cohabitating at this friend's house and sleeping in the same bed, and there were text messages probably going out that probably shouldn't have been going out when you're cohabitating. And so it's like we were trying to figure out what we were. And I'll never forget, I went and showered and I came out from the shower and you're like, "Did you look at your phone?" And I was like, "What?" And I looked at my phone and there was like a Facebook relationship request. And I was like, "Oh, so that's how you know it's real." It's
Yeah.
Facebook real. And then we like deleted our Facebooks like a week later.
And before you
like
moved,
that.
I would always tell you like, I really like you, because I didn't want to tell you I love you over the phone before, like for the first time.
Oh, I know.
After
I'll never forget.
who knows how
when
long.
you told me.
You know, it's
I know,
like-
because obviously we told each other as kids, because like I think all kids tell each other that, like when they're kids.
yeah.
But like as an adult, yeah.
Yo.
I'll never. I remember specifically where we were at whenever you told me.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Women remember everything.
Everything
That's crazy.
except for where they laid something down last.
Yeah, and what
But I know what
what
you
they-
did 6 years
what
ago
they
at
wanted to eat
6:57
at their favorite
p.m.
restaurant. It's like, babe, we've
True.
been here for 10 times.
Because
What
you
are we
never
gonna
know
eat?
if you want to get something different.
No, I don't know. And then you get the same thing.
Because you put pressure on me, and so I
There's
can't.
no
You know,
pressure.
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
There's no pressure. It's just
It is.
it's just waiting and going, I wonder if she's gonna get the same thing.
And then you're the type of person that does not like talking about what you're ordering before
don't.
you order
I
it.
hate
So
it.
it's like
I absolutely I
I try to avoid even asking if you're ready, because I'm like, my next question is gonna be like, "Well, what are you getting?" Because
Yeah.
that's just like it's
I don't
a
like answering
general
that question.
Conversation.
And I don't understand why people ask other people that question whenever they're eating. And they're
Because
like,
maybe they want
hey,
to share.
what are you getting? It's like, it don't matter what I'm getting. Get whatever you want to get. And if I tell you what I'm going to get and you're like, I was going to get that, or I don't care.
Yeah, but like, what if?
And
I
not just
want-
you, not just you specifically. They're just people.
I mean, I know, but I'm saying like, what if I wanted like to get the same thing, but then I was like, ooh, we could get two different things and both try it, like. But then you don't much care for sharing food like that either.
What? Do y'all do that? Do y'all do that out there? Do y'all share food with your significant other?
I mean,
'Cause-
you try to take all my dessert, but like,
Listen,
food wise, you are not about it.
I think it's different. Like, this might sound a little sexist and a little husbandistic, I guess.
Husbandist.
Yeah, that's my word of the day. Word of the. I'm gonna trademark that. Y'all don't take it husbandistic. But we feel loved whenever you guys let us eat your food. But when y'all take our food, it's like you already fucking take anything else that I can possibly give you. I just want to eat.
That's really funny.
And then sometimes our meal doesn't just satisfy us. So we're like, I hope she don't eat all hers so I can devour that too.
I mean, I know, because there's been a time or two where you've like taken my plate before I was even done. And I'm like, yo, I'm not done. You're like, oh, well, you look done. I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. You stop eating
Finish it
for
now.
a period of time, so it looks like I'm
Yeah, but you know how I am.
about to get rid of this. So
I have to eat and then like pause for a moment and then eat again.
and leftovers.
Listen.
Leftovers. Husbands. Any of y'all, did your wife bring home food, or do you even do it yourself? Bring home food every time. Every time from a restaurant. You don't eat it all.
I'm really
You
good
box
at
it up. You bring it home. You put it in the fridge, and you just let it sit.
So if it's fajitas, you know I will fuck up my fajita leftovers.
Yeah.
And any type of pasta leftovers. Well, it depends, because some pastas I bring home, and when you go to heat them up, it is not the same. And it's like, what is this? Some mystery concoction? Because this is not what I had last night. And so it depends on the pasta, but most of the time, pasta and fajitas, I'll always fuck up those leftovers.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's just too sketch.
Because you bring it home anyway after.
Because I think I'm going to eat
the
it.
The drawn decision of like, hey, this is going to take up space. And you're like, I'm going to eat it. I'm like, no, you're not. And then 2 days later, I'm like, I'm going to eat this. And you're like, fine. Like, you knew you weren't going to eat it anyway. Or I just eat it.
I know.
Husbands, do y'all eat y'all's wife's food when it's in the fridge? Or
You definitely
on
do
any
all the
given
time.
time? You just take it out. And you're like, well,
Hope she wasn't planning on eating this.
she had a chance.
Exactly. Or you do that with my candy or my chocolate or my ice cream or
If it's
any type of
accessible,
sweets.
like I said, it's
You literally like, you had your chance to eat it.
feel
And it's like, I'm not going to
I'm
freaking
like,
just scarf it down like you do.
She's sharing with me.
Like,
Because if I ask, I know like the demon eyes come out and they're like, share with you? This is mine. I'm like, oh, okay. Let me.
because I share everything with the kids and like.
Kids. If you're married without kids,
Don't have them.
enjoy
I
each
love my
other.
kids.
Enjoy each other.
I love them, but definitely like.
And enjoy yourselves
Yeah.
alone
Yes.
without each other. Does that make sense?
100%.
Enjoy each other together. Enjoy each other's time, presence. Go places with each other. If you don't have kids and all that good stuff. And find things that you like doing without each other and do everything as much as possible. Because when you have kids, like it don't ruin your life and it doesn't like slow down your life, but you have to take them everywhere. And they don't want to go everywhere.
They definitely don't. They bitch at the plane. I don't want to go. I
Like,
don't want to
well,
go. It's like,
you have
but you
to.
will when you're older.
You have to. At this point in time, like you have to. Because like adults, like we have to live our life and we have to keep going.
Yeah.
You all right? Stand up.
But
Gotta live your life because kids will take it out and they will make sure that they're your priority. And if you don't make sure that you are your priority, you'll get burnt out and you won't be able to give them as much. So then it's a lose-lose. So you got to give yourself enough so your cup runneth over and you can give it to your kids. But don't feel like kids like slow down. Speaking of kids, I know y'all heard that. And with that being said,
I'll be back.
with that being said, I think we will close out this episode of Pineapples and Palm Trees podcast. Thank you all for listening. Subscribe and all that good stuff. Being married is a blessing, and this is paradise.